Listen, I'm asking with all due respect to certain members of the RGPF, certain police in Grenada, certain members of the Royal Grenada Police Force are asking in all due respect, what the ass does really take some of all you? Eh? What some of all your mind does really tell all you? All you probably don't get mistaken a little bit by the name RGPF, Royal Grenada Police Force. Royal, all you is the royal, all you not royal, you know. It's not for you. Grenada Police Force. Policing doesn't have to be a force. Community policing works far more efficiently than what all you're trying to do right now. So what do you ask all your mind really tell all your dread? Listen, I'm talking about the rise in the recent police reported incidents in Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique over this past couple weeks, dread. And I have to do this video to really talk seriously to some of my police friends, brethren in Grenada in particular. Listen, now this is no anti-police vlog. This is anti them kind of gangsters and them that want to play police, that hiding behind the badges. This one is for you. Because if all you want to be a bad man or a gangster, all you're in the wrong profession. And that is why it's so difficult to believe or to justify anything police do, even when it's good. That is why it's so difficult. All you're making Vanny Cowan job more difficult than it's supposed to be. Listen, earlier today, and I'll get to the point of this vlog, you know. But I just have to rant about the nonsense the RGPF have been doing over this past couple of weeks straight. Earlier today, I was watching a press conference by the Commissioner of Police, and he's saying that he's in the mindset and the thinking that he should start to name and shame people who commit sexual crimes.
And I am seriously contemplating whether or not we do not have to start posting the pictures of sexual predators. So we start a shame and blame issue of charging persons who are sexual predators.
I am in the serious mindset of thinking that we should start to name and shame police officers that getting on with the nonsense, right? Case in point. A young man, a security guard at an establishment. He is getting paid at the establishment to work security. Police came without a mask on. He trying to enforce, the security guard trying to enforce to the police officer to wear your mask. Guess what the police officer do? The police officer arrests the security guard. Now if this was in a comic strip book, I would have said, well, that is comedy, or that is a movie or some kind of sitcom or something like that. This is not no comedy. This is real life. Take a look at the clip.
Arresting the security for telling the officer to put on a mask.
I also want to speak briefly to a recent video that was in circulation in social media that seeks to show an officer arresting a security officer after the security officer reportedly challenged the police officer for not wearing a mask at a business establishment where the security officer works. I can confirm that this incident did occur.
So all you see what I'm saying, police officers, what the ass happened to some of all your dread? What is it? Are you watching too much movies? Are you watching too much drama fiction? Are you watching too much Netflix? What is it really in the minds of some of all your dread? I ain't saying all, some of all you. Some of all you seem like all you never went to training, right? And it's evident. Some of all you getting promotion up the wazoo and all you ain't even do anything. All you know a friend who know a friend, and all you go up in promotion and all you keep being promoted. But some of all you never even went to school. All you never went to the academy. All you don't know how to treat people. All you don't know about community policing. All you don't understand how effective it could be. What is wrong with some of all you? Case in point. It seems like the new thing in Grenada is to beat up, cuff up, slap up, pull gun, and when you get a chance, shoot at whoever. And we all heard the incidents, the recent incidents, right? Let's look at this other one. A young man called an early morning talk show on GBN today, right? And claimed that a prison officer pulled a gun at his daughter, who is allegedly his ex. Play the audio.
Now, between Monday and Tuesday, a situation played out right in my vicinity, whereby a prison officer who was a friend of my daughter, they have some problem whereby she finished with him or whatsoever. They had one child together. You understand? Now he came after a couple hours, came across in the yard. A couple in, which is my daughter, was driving the car with somebody else who is a co-worker of hers and his son in the back of the car. And pulling in the yard, and when she was trying to turn in the neighbor yard, this red cop pulled up in front and stopped, open the door, come out with a gun and go forward to my daughter and the friend and the little child in the car. When my daughter gets so scared that she foot is up on the brakes and go and hit the car that he parked in front of her. And all the thing, if her daughter or one or other child was in front, they would have get crushed. And what I'm saying here is not a joke. And if that is the purpose of guns, then it doesn't make sense. Maybe everybody walk with they make a big survey and pick up all guns, whether who police or what, because it doesn't make sense. The things they doesn't understand the purpose of it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is not anti-police, as I said. This is anti them gangsters, them gunmen, and them who is hiding behind the badge of police. And as I said, the commissioner said it earlier, that he's serious in the mindset of naming and shaming people of sexual predators and sexual crimes. I think that I should take it on myself to name and shame whenever police officer get involved in this type of crimes, boxing up people's children, slapping up people's children, right? Pulling gun in people's children's face, shooting people's children, killing people in Grenada of all places. In Grenada of all places, everybody look alike, everybody know everybody, you could talk to people.
Being a police officer does not give us the right, neither the privilege, to break the said laws that we are tasked with enforcing.
So all of this builds distrust in the police. There was a recent incident reported that a young man hung himself inside of a prison cell in St. George's, right? He hung himself inside a prison cell. That was the report. People can't believe, people not believing that, because you know why? There is already a major distrust in police. People don't trust the police. So you're making the commissioner and them have to try to explain this stuff. And sometimes I have to give it to some of them. I have to give it to some of them. All they does defend all your own too much until there is proven fact. Police officer beat up this young man, beat up the man, bust up his nose, break up his nose, mash up his face. And not until he came on this platform and other platforms and talk about it, they actually took actions in apprehending and arresting the perpetrator, badman, gangster police who beat up the man and bust up his face. What actually transpired prior to the police officer coming in contact with you on that particular day?
What actually transpired was he had a fight that took place in my village, but then at the end of the day I knew nothing about it. But so then the officers came to maybe do the investigation to see what's going on and stuff like that. I don't know how my name was mentioned, but yeah, I happened to get picked up for the fight, brought to the camp, and while I was on the SSU camp, I was questioned about the fight, which I didn't know nothing about. So I told the officer exactly, like, I don't know about the fight, I know nothing about that. If you have to ask me any questions, the only question I'm going to answer is to do with my business, because this is where you come and pick me up. You came and pick me up from my business place. So because I refused to answer, he took the law into his own hands, and this was the outcome. I got pictures to show what he did to me.
I must hasten to indicate that we subsequently learned through the media and social media of the gravity of injuries to Mr. Charles.
While sitting there, he hit me and told me stretch my foot. I did stretch my foot. After that, I was looking at him. He told me stop looking at him. Continue looking at him because I know it's not an offense. It's not a charge. He make me a blow with the bat again. He took me across my eye.
I seeing those report myself was shocking. And I had no knowledge of the extent of injuries to Mr. Charles.
He make me a next blow with the batter. I grab it. When I grab it, then he tell me let it go. I said no, I ain't letting it go. I need to go to the hospital because my eye started bleeding. So because I wasn't letting go the batter, he stepped between my foot now. Between my 2 foot because I was sitting on my butt with my 2 foot stretched because that's what he wanted me to do. So I did exactly what he wanted me to do. He stepped between there, and while I was sitting, his knee and my face was about the same height.
He claims due to injuries received from the beating by the police officer, he's numb in the nose.
I then sought an intervention to see Mr. Charles, and here I must commend Mr. Earl Maitland, who assisted with making Mr. Charles and himself available for a meeting with me to have an understanding of the extent of his injuries. It was only during that meeting I understand that Mr. Charles sought further medical attention after leaving police custody.
So if there were no video or the man was unable to speak and articulate what happened to him, you know what would have happened there? They would have said it never happened. So you can't blame when people don't trust all you. Don't trust the police. You can't blame when people don't trust to hear a word from the police. All you're watching too much movies, too much Netflix. I don't know what's wrong with all you. Get back to basic. And I have a recommendation to the Commissioner of Police and to everyone in the high brass of the Royal Grenada Police Force. All you need to go through and read all yourself of this police who are sitting and protecting themselves behind the badges. All you need to get rid of them, because the few of them who are sitting and doing that are giving the whole force a bad name. Yeah, the whole force, them that like to slap up people's children and box up people's children and take the law into their own hands, they need to go. That police officer who arrested the security guard for trying to enforce a policy that they are arresting people for should be fired. They don't have to go no coordination. They don't have to go nothing else. That is clear as day, right? That is clear as day. Whatever position he is, he should be demoted. He should be fired. I don't even know who he is, but he should be out of there because he giving the rest of the police officers, who are some of them are my friends, a bad name. And police, stop protecting rogue, nasty police officers. Stop protecting them. Put them out. Shine them out. Let's name and shame them. Just as how the commissioner want to name and shame people of sexual crime, which I agree with. Let's name and shame police officers too. Let's name and shame them. Right? Because you look as if that is the only thing they're afraid of. You look as if that is the only thing they're afraid of. Rid them of the guns, rid them of the badge, and lock them up like everybody else. Nobody's above the law.